it's Sean here, and if this is your first time joining me, welcome. I like to spend all of my free time looking at car ads, and I make videos of the ones I really want to buy, but can't because I don't have any money or space. So this is basically therapy for me. Hopefully you can relate on some level, and we can get through this together. And today, we are going to be taking a look at a really sweet 1988 Buick Reatta. And this particular one has about 51,000 miles on it and a fully functional touchscreen. Yes, folks, in 1988 and 1989, your Buick Reatta came with an ATM-styled black background and green font full cap touchscreen. And actually, if you watch the video that Doug DeMuro put out when he reviewed a 1989 Buick Reatta, it works pretty great. And you need it if you want to listen to music too, because the button to eject the tape player is in the touchscreen. Overall, though, I'd say this car looks pretty good in terms of condition. The paint looks nice. The interior looks all complete and in good shape. Doesn't appear to be any major wear or cracks on the seats, and they're leather. So as you know, General Motors leather from the 70s and 80s doesn't always hold up the best in terms of cracking and wear. So pretty impressive in terms of condition. And under the hood of the Reatta, you will find the ubiquitous 3.8 liter V6 that's found in everything from Buick Centuries, Skylarks, Grand Prix, early Grand Ams, the Oldsmobile Achieva, the Buick Park Avenue, Olds 88, the Olds 98, the Bonneville, the Buick Riviera, the Impala, Monte Carlo, and just, GM put this in a lot of stuff. So as stated before, this car has the 3.8 liter V6. It puts out something like 165 horsepower and around 200 foot-pounds of torque. It's a front-wheel drive car with a 4-speed automatic. I believe they all had the 4-speed auto. There's no manual option. That's about it. It's pretty basic in terms of drivetrain. But what's really cool about these cars, and as I mentioned before with the touchscreen, is they're just sort of cram-packed full of all the greatest technology of the late 80s. But at the same time, you got to be careful because with great electronics comes the great danger that something might break, and then you'll spend gobs of time and money just trying to figure out how to fix it, especially in a 30-plus-year-old car. So, buyer beware, I guess. But on the face of things, a really cool kind of car in terms of the tech that they crammed into it. So why do I like this car? Well, you don't see a lot of them, and whenever you do see one, you kind of do a double take and go, holy smokes, what is that? And if you don't know, you don't know. And if you do, you go, wow, that's a Reatta. They don't drive particularly fast. They don't handle particularly well by today's standards, but they were designed to be sort of like the anti-two-seater. So it's not a sports car. It's a car you get into when you know you've got a lot of driving to do. And that's what it's designed for. And hey, it's a Buick. You should know that by now. The other thing I really like about it is the design is kind of like getting away from the boxy 80s look. And it's kind of a precursor to the more curvy 90s exterior designs. So it's kind of neat because it's a bit ahead of its time, and it's a good precursor of what's to come. But I think the other thing that's neat, if you look at it dead on and you throw a bunch of sand in your eyes and squint really hard, it kind of looks like a Ferrari 356 GTB4. That's just from that angle. If you put it on its side or look at it from the back, it's nothing like a Ferrari. This is a stretch, I realize, and I'm not expecting you to be on board with this, but bear with me here. And I think I would want to buy this car in particular because it looks so clean. It looks like it's in such great shape. Everything looks almost showroom. The interior's great, and quite frankly, that's where you spend most of your time in the car, is inside of it. So you want to make sure that that's a comfortable place. You're not going to be bothered by broken bits and things that have just weathered or aged over time. If you're like me, every little thing that's wrong with it just bugs you to your core, and you don't feel good about it until you start working on it and fixing it. So that's why this car is probably a good car for me because it looks like it's in pretty good shape and I could sit in it for a while driving and not be thinking about all the things I have to correct. One thing I need to mention before we go is how the Reatta was manufactured. So it didn't go down a normal assembly line like most cars did. It was kind of brought to different teams in different stages, and it was all hand assembled. So each one of these is a handcrafted car. So they're pretty cool in that regard. I imagine that's a pretty expensive manufacturing process compared to the assembly line, but it is something that makes the car unique and is definitely worth noting. Well, that's all I really had to say about this car. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you maybe learned something about the Reatta and have a newfound appreciation for it. I doubt you will, but here's hoping. Anyway, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any interesting and unusual car content. See you in 2 weeks with another video. TTFN.